everybody, and welcome to this special recording. I guess you could call it a special podcast. Reading from In the Holler. I'm going to read from this today so that you guys can have a taste of my book. And it's coming out on April the 15th. So be sure and go out and do the pre-order. It's available right now. Or, wait and get it when it comes live on April the 15th. And here we go. When Hope Monroe visited her aunt and uncle's old country house in Mount Moriah, Tennessee, as a 9-year-old child, she'd played in the attic to entertain herself. The top floor ran the length of the house and overflowed with items from the past, perfect props for the child to create an imaginary world. She'd whirled around the creaky floorboards, lifting clouds of dust and faint remnants of old cologne, dressed in someone's party dress 10 sizes too big, until she plopped down exhausted. Seated there in the shards of sunlight, Hope would marvel at how the sequins on the dress turned into tiny prisms of colored light like diamonds on an engagement ring. And from atop the old faded floral settee, she would make up stories of how the sequins would turn into stars if she wore the dress out in the moonlight. The magic of the attic occupied Hope's time on every visit she made until she outgrew dress-up games, dreams of princely rescues, and dolls. And when that happened, she quit playing in the attic altogether, replacing an imaginary life for a real one. Once she reached her teens, she spent summers in the holler where her aunt and uncle lived, as an escape from her mother's constant drinking. Now, almost 2 decades later, she stood with a curious reporter in the cozy nook of a bookstore, explaining how those times were the inspiration for her stories. The memories rose to the surface of her mind, enveloping her. Why did your parents send you to your aunt and uncle's? Did they work a lot? He wrote and talked, pen scratching across the page in his notebook. I guess they're glad for all that imagination now, huh? What with a book signing tour and all? His question brought her crashing out of her reverie. My parents are both dead. His face flushed. Oh, gee, I'm sorry for your loss. Don't be. I'm not, and I'm sure they aren't either. Wow. He averted his eyes, shook his head, shock registering on his face. Hope decided to elaborate, make him understand. Look, my relationship with my parents was strained. My mother had a drinking problem, and my father worked himself to death to escape her. I wasn't quite as lucky as he was, only because I couldn't live at my aunt and uncle's home in Mount Moriah, although it was preferable. Is that why you write fiction? To escape from... Well, I guess it would be understandable, given your past. He closed the notebook, clearing his throat. Hope didn't provide an answer as he had answered his own question. Years of therapy taught me how to move on with my life and accept my past. I hope I wasn't too direct for you. Not at all. Not at all. He stood to go. Anyway, I guess this is enough for now, Miss Monroe. Thank you for your time. I'll give you a call if I need anything more for the story. She shook his hand and watched as he tore out of the place. Probably couldn't wait to write her sordid tale with its skeletons hanging out of their proverbial closet. She hadn't given him much food for the feast, but if he were as ambitious as he seemed, he'd manage just fine. I hope you've enjoyed this little short reading of In the Holler, and I look forward to having my Facebook launch party on April the 15th, and I hope you'll plan to join me. It's going to be in the evening, probably 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 o'clock Central. And I will have some giveaways. There'll be some free books. There'll be some free downloads for audiobooks. And I just hope we have a really good time, a lot of fun. And I look forward to it, and I look forward to seeing you there. Until next time, y'all be safe.